Welcome everyone. Growth as a strategic process. We are all striving for growth in our life, in our personal life, in our professional life, in our society. We are looking for growth in terms of money, in terms of reputation, and that is very true as far as organization or any business entity is supposed to grow about it. Everybody would love to grow. So the agenda is very simple. We need to understand what are the internal growth strategy for an entrepreneurial firm, describe additional internal product growth strategies a business can utilize, internal growth, product growth strategies, and what are the different international expansion as a growth strategy. We would love to discuss them, the external growth strategies in this presentation. Yes, this video will be a little bit sweeter and little bit shorter duration, but I'm sure the audience is going to love everything and they will have a clear idea of what exactly we are talking about in terms of entrepreneurial business growth. So let us go with the internal growth strategies. If you see, we have only two slides to go around it. What is internal growth strategies? Which takes the firm organically from they are arranging the fund within the from the profits of the company. They growing up with the without the help of others but on their own expertise. Now, that is what internal growth strategies is all about. It involve effort within the firm itself, such as new product development, and probably other product related strategies. International expansion, remember the word international expansion can be replaced by geographical expansion. In case if you're talking about a small business entity, every business entity is growing and wants to go or striving for it. Let us understand the external growth strategies. Rely on establishing relationship with a third party, such as the mergers, acquisitions, strategic alliances, joint venture, licensing, and franchising. Now, this is where we are going in organic fashion. We are partnering with somebody. We are holding hands and probably ensuring that the business is flourishing thereby. Yes, we are sharing profit. Yes, the cost is being shared. Yes, even probably technology is being shared, but probably the growth is rapid. So we are striving for a faster growth through an inorganic, or should I say external growth strategies. The point, what are we looking for internal growth strategies, is NPD, new product development, or other product related strategies, making the product smaller, making the products cheaper, making the product much more accessible, and then the geographical expansion as far as international expansion is concerned. Or what about the external? This is where we talk about mergers and acquisition, licensing, strategic alliances and joint venture, and franchising. This is what we are all looking forward to. Remember, here is what we are talking in terms of holding hands or getting into a partnership. Now, internal growth strategies are all about new product development, developing newer versions of the existing product. You look at your mobile, probably your Android devices, probably your laptops, probably your cars. You have the car remains the same thing. The version comes around. Yes, obviously one version, two version, three version, probably even four versions of the same edition or same car is being launched or is being launched into the market as on when on basis every 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. The upgrades are available. Now these are nothing but new product development. Similarly, for other product strategies, making it accessible at the doorstep of the consumer might be one of the strategies. International expansion is simply the geographical expansion we are looking at it. Now, what are the advantages? If we can understand the advantages of internal growth strategies, they are incremental, even spaced, slow and steady. What are the advantages? They provide maximum control because it is your resource, it is your money, it is your people, it is your product. Preserve organizational culture the way you want to renew the culture or probably invigorate the culture. It is absolutely preserved. Encourage internal entrepreneurship. Allow firms to produce from within absolutely everything. You are plowing the profit inside the firm after all. Now, this is what your advantages is all about it. Then comes the disadvantages. Slow form of growth, need to develop new resources, investment in a failed Internal growth strategy can be difficult to ramp. Now, this is what uh, the disadvantage is: very slow. I said incremental is an advantage, slow form of growth. Need to develop new resources. Probably you have to work hard to launch a new product. Investment might go backfire. It might, you might lose a sizable investment. Adds to the industry capacity. That's what we are looking into. These are all the capacity that's been added but probably is not been utilized. Don't you think that is a disadvantages? So these are your advantages and disadvantages of internal growth strategy. Now let us focus on the new product development, NPD. It involves a certain kind of new product, or this new product needs to be created, innovated, and the sales has to accrue to the as a means of revenue for the firm. In many fast industry, new product development is a very much a necessity. If you are not launching a new product every now and then, you cease to exist. In fact, you look at it, how we are going around it. The average product life cycle in the computer industry is 14 to 16 months. Believe me, before the newer edition, launches are coming. I'm sure the Android devices that you are looking, your operating system is updated every once in a month, probably twice in a month. The antivirus that you're utilizing needs to be updated every now and then probably they have to be renovated every 2 3 months. The license has to be taken forward to it. Now, this is nothing but a glorifying example of NPD, new product development. Now, how do we go around it? Find a niche and fill it. This is very important. Develop a product that adds value. Get quality right, and more importantly, pricing right. Make it much more attractive, feasible, understandable by the end consumer. Focus on a specific target market. Conduct ongoing feasibility analysis as the case might be. Now, the top 5 reasons why many products fail. First, the potential of the market was overestimated. Now, this is what needs to be understood. Customers saw the product was too expensive, or you did not make a feel about the discretionary income that an individual consumer would be spending around it. If you have overestimated either of the things, the potential market or the consumer spend, your product is not going to be much of an attraction for the for your audience. The product was poorly designed. The product had some pitfalls into it, flaws out there. The product was no different than the competitor's me too product, probably only higher priced. The cost of developing a product were very high. This is what is limiting, to your cost was very high, and to achieve even a break even point, the price, it might become very difficult. It might become a little too steep for you to understand. Now, this is where the other product related strategies would love to come around it. Now, what are they? You can improve an existing product. Did I say about an antivirus? You bring on, keep on updating it, keep on improving the version, keep on making it very consumer friendly. So often business can increase the revenue by simply increasing the quality of the existing product. Similarly, looking for market penetration. Let's say make more people aware of your product and make a more sales around it. Same product, deeper market. That means more revenue, as the case is all about it. The product strategy is extending the product line. Now, what we are looking at product line, we are having a newer versions, and every versions comes around it. You look at your soap, you can have soap which you can purchase a cake of soap for a single issue. Probably you can purchase a cake of soap for 3 piece at a time or 6 pieces at a time, or probably different combinations, different promotional scheme that comes around it. What I've been trying to do is to appeal to a broader range of clients who utilize your product. That appeal has to be lucrative enough. That is what your extending product line is all about it. Last but not the least is the geographical expansion, the international expansion, growing by venturing into a newer market, and that is very simple said. Let us talk about the international expansion. Another common form of growth for an entrepreneurial firms. International new ventures are business that from inception itself seeks to derive significant competitive advantage by using resources to sell products or services in multiple countries. Although there's a vast potential associated with selling overseas, it is fairly a complex form of growth, absolutely a complex form of growth. Why? Because you don't know the cultures, you don't know the ethos, you don't know the new market altogether. It becomes a bit difficult. But then you are in a business where you are focusing on the overseas customers altogether. So foreign entry strategies are different. They can be exporting. Probably you produce and sell it to your reseller, and this reseller will ensure that the end consumer gets it, makes a purchase. Or licensing, simply arranging a license wherein, as on when on basis, the reseller would be procuring materials from yourself at a cheaper rate, provided a particular shipment has been agreed upon. This rate they will be always getting, from which they can always add their margin and sell it out. One way of licensing. The next way of licensing is everything you sell it on yourself, ship it to the other overseas country, and every sale you take a percentage of profit. And simple and straight. So that's the way of licensing. Joint ventures involves establishing an absolutely new firm. Firm A, domestic. Firm B, international or overseas. They both join hand to form another firm called Firm C. Now, this is a joint venture that is jointly owned by two or more, otherwise independent. You have an example of Fuji Xerox, a joint venture between an American company and a Japanese company. Fuji is the Japanese company, and Xerox is the American company that we go around it. We have the foreign market entry strategies are of franchisees, turnkey projects, and wholly owned. Franchisee is where you actually give the technological know-how of what to do and how to do, exact way to do around it, word by word. Everything has been mentioned. A company like McDonald will be giving it to you. So the end product, the franchisee would actually do follow the steps and comes out the real McDonald product. The franchisee, for every sale the McDonald's would get or the franchisor would get certain commission around it. Turnkey project is somewhere on the corner. A person, a company builds a project and hands it over for a price and let the other company run the show. So for everything that has been done, trains the personnel, will operate the facility completely. It's like turning the key and probably opening the lock. So, wholly owned subsidiary. This is where a company not only manufactures but also maintains that establishment on a permanent basis. A completely wholly owned subsidiary. This time, there is not been handed over to another company to run the show altogether. So this is a wholly owned subsidiary that comes around it. So external growth strategies, mergers and acquisition, licensing, strategic ventures, and franchising, as the case might be. Advantages are plentiful uh, for external growth strategy. First, it reduces competition because you are joining hands. Simple and straight. If you are joining your hands with a competitor, the competitor doesn't no longer become remains your competitor. The competitor becomes a partner. Gaining access to proprietary knowledge, proprietary technology, proprietary processes, you name it and you have it. Gaining access to a new product, obviously somebody must have developed, probably not you, but your partners is helping it out. Obtaining access to a technical expertise, gaining access to established brand name, economies of scales, and diversification of the business risk. Yes, obviously when you join hand, you reduce your risk by half, or should I say you reduce your risk by the number of parties that you join hand with. So advantages are plentiful, but there are certain disadvantages of all. When you join hand, your marriage does not succeed. Why? Because of different thought process, because of different values. Now that becomes incompatible top management. And many a time joint venture, in fact, maximum number of times joint ventures fails. Clash of the corporate culture is the reason. Operational problems, increased business complexity, loss of organizational flexibility, and antitrust implication, as the case might be. We talk about the mergers and acquisition. A merger is a pooling of interest to combine two or more firms into one. An acquisition is an outright purchase of a firm by another. Absolutely. So mergers are organic, are smooth, docile, but acquisition might be hostile altogether. Purpose of acquisition: acquire another's business can fulfill several of the company's need, like expanding its product line, like gaining the distribution channel, or probably achieving the economies of scale. So you actually acquire a steel plant, acquiring a coal mine. It's an acquisition. It helps you in the economies of scale. Distribution channel is where you are selling you are an insurance company, you are selling a joining hand with your with a bank, right? The bank is helping you, giving a database of customer to sell your insurance product. So it helps all the way around. The process of completing an acquisition, let us follow step by step all the nine process steps. Schedule a meeting, first step. Next is evaluate the feelings of one another, both of your firms and the target firm. Step number three is determine what is the most appropriate way to go finance and acquire. Then comes step number four. Step number four is actively negotiate with the target market. You look what we are looking into it. One meeting, understanding, feeling each other's, probably understanding the nitty-gritties of finances, and now you are negotiating. Step number five, you are almost on the midway. You are making an offer. Absolutely. Now you will have to go to the step number six, where the offer has been either been accepted or been moderated or been modulated to certain things. Then probably you discuss the non-compete agreement, as the case might be. Step number seven is when you go for legal documents altogether, hire an attorney, get it emboldened in black and white. Step number seven, be practical, meet everyone, all the stakeholder that is going to be there, that is going to help you work around you. Explain the acquisition. And step number nine is let the ball roll. Now things have been acquired and it's time to perform. So licensing, let me give it to you. The granting of permission by a company to another company for a specific form of its intellectual property, which is clearly defined conditions. Virtually any intellectual property a company owns that is protected by a patent, trademark, or copyright can be licensed to a third party. Licensing agreement. The term of licenses are spelled out in licensee agreement altogether. So, what are the various types? There are two types basically right now. They are technological licensing and merchandise and character licensing. Technological licensing is the proprietary technology that the licensor typically controls by virtue of utility patent. So if you have patented it, nobody can utilize it, but probably you're allowing it to be mimicked by your partners altogether, for which your partner is always indebted and would be paying for it. Merchandise and character licensing. This is what we are talking about, brand name. This is where we are talking about trademark. This is where, did I show you the example of McDonald's? McDonald's would be giving the trademark, and people across the world would immediately recognize what we are working into, what has been expected, what kind of things can be expected. Strategic alliances, nothing but it's a partnership between two or more firms to develop a specific goals. Strategic partnership or alliances can be informal. They need not create a new entity. In joint venture, you need to create a new entity. Participating in strategic alliance can boost a firm rates of product innovations and foreign sale thereby. So yes, we talk about strategic alliances. Again, two types. They are technological alliances and marketing alliances. Technological alliances, nothing to discuss around it. It is your technical prowess. It is your efficiency. It is your advanced nature in terms of research and development, engineering and manufacturing. You will partner with your competitors who are either technologically advanced or who have an immense marketing knowledge or marketing network is very strong, so that your technology can be utilized and they can sell your technologies, which will be profitable for both of the alliances partners. Then is the marketing alliances. This is where typically the company with excess distribution capacity, where the company has a product to sell. So you have a product, and then there is a company who can sell the product. That is what the marketing alliances is all about. It joint ventures is an entity to create two, probably more firm pools together a portion of the resources to create another when another organization which is separate entity altogether. A common reason to form a joint venture is to gain access to the foreign market. In these cases, the joint ventures typically consist of a firm trying to go overseas, trying to expand beyond its country's border. So types of joint venture: one is scale joint venture, which and the other one is a link joint venture. What is scale joint venture? It is up to a single point that you collaborate in the value chain to gain economies of scale. Absolutely, yes. Economies of scale, you join, you have. I'm good at marketing, probably I will do that. I'm good at production, probably I'll do that. So production is my headache, marketing is your headache. Or marketing is my headache, production is your headache. I will not, I'm good at production, but I will not also look into marketing. You might be good at marketing, but you did not interfere in my production job. So up to a point, the value chain to gain economies of scale, that is what the scale joint ventures is all about it. Now, link joint ventures is where their positions are not symmetrical and partners are helping each other out. So, I'm into production, you are into marketing. So, I will help you in marketing abilities, you will also help me in my production abilities. So, it's like scratching each other's back altogether. Now, before I wind up, you need to understand the advantages of joint ventures. It helps us to gain a specific resources, definitely yes. Yes, the crux of going into a joint venture is economies of scale, risk and cost sharing, gaining an access to foreign market, learning, relearning, again learning, upgrading and updating yourself, speed to the market, neutralize and blocking competitors. Disadvantages are also there. Why? Because you stand to lose your proprietary information. You stand to give most of your trade secrets. Management complexities are there. Cultural differences would be there. Financial risk are there. People might not be throughput as transparent as they claim to be. Risk can becoming make yourself dependent on the partner. Partial loss of decision making. Autonomy is lost, right? Partners cultural cultures may clash and loss of flexibility as far as organization is concerned. So these are the advantages and disadvantages, and believe me or not, I have tried to give you a very balanced view with respect to the growth as a strategy, you so that you can embark the right strategy for your benefit. With these words, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this presentation till the end.